We are in the heart of Bandra, Mumbai's hub of style and fashion, standing outside Vandals World, a jewellery brand that is redefining luxury. Today, we are here to meet Vandana Jagwani, the visionary founder of Vandals, whose bold designs blend tradition with innovation while honouring the Mahesh Notandas legacy. Well, what makes Vandals so special? All the secrets to Vandals' magic are just beyond that door. So let's go inside and discover them. Come with me. Thank you. And to welcome us here, we have Vandana Jagwani herself in studio, in this, in fact, stunning studio. Well, Vandana.
It is a fortune. You
So
can
at the end of the show, I'm going to open this. A pleasure meeting you.
You too.
It's really a pleasure. Thank you so much. Super cool studio. And before we go up to Vandals, I want to ask you, what makes Vandals and this lovely studio so special?
Mahesh Notandas, it's all about legacy. What has been given to us, next gen has to carry it to make legacy into legendary. So we have just respected our grandparents, our dad's work, and we are just trying for that with a new lens.
What a beautiful thought, like taking your, the legacy forward. And when you say grandparents, your parents, it's really nice that you say that. But what inspired Vandals, if I can specifically ask you? Of course, like you said, you kept that in mind and taking it forward. How did you make it different? But what really was the fire behind Vandals?
First, there was logic. Because when I first saw lab-grown and I saw the machinery, and I found out lab-grown was made in 1950s and the machinery only came to test it in 2000s. So I was like, the first logic.
Yeah.
Second was making your mark on existing structures. Change is there. Why should I?
And change is constant.
And why should I stop my client? Why should I be the boundary?
Yeah. Yeah.
I am offering everything here. It is your decision.
So it's a basket, it's a bouquet. I mean, they pick up what they want.
Yes.
But Vandana, if I can ask you, like you already, Mahesh Notandas has been a legacy, amazing designs, jewellery. How did you ensure that you keep that, in mind, the legacy, the tradition, but also create something so bold, so different, and a statement piece?
It's always dual. There's respect, but to keep the respect in life, you have to challenge it too. It works both ways.
Yeah.
When you're younger, your parents challenge you. When you reach a certain age, all are adults. Then when they get older, you take care of them and challenge them. You reverse the cycle.
It's of course reversing the cycle. Okay, if I want to ask you before we actually go up and see the lovely Vandal studio, which I've heard so much about. I want to ask you about here. Did you start the baby steps in Mahesh Notandas at this studio? Did you really start initially from here?
Yes, and I started with the goal that I, instead of collaborating with a designer, would rather give back to community. When I was 22, I came back from college. I interned somewhere. And then I came here, saw jewelry, started with my baby line. My first pieces. I still wear it. So there's Mahesh Notandas, there's Vandals, there's both. One is my grandmom's piece. One, what I have taken theirs, then when I start buying my own or making my own, it's Vandals. So you keep it and you make them.
And it's beautifully collectively done. So why don't we go up and why don't you show me what Vandals has?
The world.
The world.
Welcome to the world.
Looking forward to the world and the Vandals world unofficially.
Unofficially.
So
welcome to the world. And this was made in 2020. Northern world was made in 2025.
Well, I'm excited to be in the Vandals world. Thank you for the fortune cookie which you gave me down. I'm going to open it at some point and I hope it has all the fortune. But Vandana, I want to ask you the name. We can see the studio is cool, it's different, it's funky, it's got that, I would say the Vandana vibe, let me put it that way. What inspired the name Vandals and how does it, when it comes to your creativity, how does that name inspire you even more?
So basically vandalism was something that was always making your mark on an existing structure, if you research it. And earlier people used to put court cases on buildings. So when artists used to pay, write on it. Now they pay artists to write on their buildings.
Yes.
And Banksy, number 2, genius or vandal. And my name was given to me by my Guruji. It was not that in my Shakti. He named me before that. So maybe there was a vandal in my name or it was the other way.
Or the
But,
first few initials, you picked it up from there? Or was it something to do with
and
numerology,
it's half my name.
astrology?
It's half my name.
Yeah.
First, I tried very hard to make it Vandana Notandas, Vandana Notandas. But the OG, sometimes the universe works for you. The OG had to stand.
The OG stood and you created something even more bold and unconventional.
And then I researched my grandfather's name. Everywhere I used to research it in the dictionary. Only this year it showed up in the dictionary.
Oh, wow. So that's
It's Japanese form of art of black and white.
so art is
Yin
that's
and
why.
yang.
So whether it's your street art in you, the creativity
We are just
in you,
filling the
yeah.
colors.
Yeah.
And then Northern world now.
And talking about filling colors, we can see the way you've used color. You know, they're bold, the expression. Vandana, I want to go back down when you were telling us about the legacy Notandas has. Specifically, when I talked to you about your dad, Mahesh Notandas. What role has he played when it comes to you as a person, or when it comes to you today, even creating this own niche for
Oh
yourself?
my God. He has only challenged me in life. And I'm such a fool when I went to the Japanese temple and picked good fortune for him and business for Harsh and victory for me.
So when you say challenge and challenge, we have a message which your father has for you. So let's have a look at what he said to you.
She's come up with this idea when even I was not aware of such a thing, never thought of it. One fine day, she started a move, and suddenly I got the shock the day she launched her own brand. And I'm so proud of her that she could think of this very futuristic kind of thing, which is nowadays, as you all know, lab grown has been very, very popular towards the newer generation and very happening. So since childhood, she was a very, very intelligent and very creative person. So something like this was expected from her, but not in this manner, the way she did it. Vanna, I'm quite proud of you, the way you launched your brand and been successful on it. Hopefully be as aggressive as you are now. That's the person you should be. Keep it up.
Today you saw him, no? He was sitting in the Vandals backdrop. The building's layout has changed. The street is turning. All these seeds were planted ages ago. Yesterday, my dad was watching a podcast. I saw in short. I told him, they said, if you have a daughter, you educate two families, your own and another. When he said that, I know everything. I said, that day God gave you a daughter.
So in fact, that's why he said he's such a super proud dad. If you heard his message right now, you know what he said for you. Moving on, of course, Vandana, you said, he's always given you challenges and, you heard what he said. But talking about launching Vandals obviously means carving out a fresh, bold identity. I want to ask you, the challenges you faced, the hurdles, so that Vandals could thrive on its own. So what did you go through at that point?
Oh, lots of things. No one was ready. Full market criticism. People did it behind closed doors. I did it openly. My own father didn't know I was doing it under his own nose right here. One Sunday I came to him with jewellery at home on the dining table, saying next Saturday is the party. You come.
So you didn't give him a choice, but you were sure, you were determined that you were going to do this.
And I launched on 28, 29, 2020 of Feb. 15 days COVID hit after that. 2020 COVID hit.
So that made it even more tougher?
Maybe easier. I was before time. 2 years I saved on all costs.
So clearly
And
you're
I got
very
first
optimistic. So I would say that, you look at the glass half full, half empty, you're very optimistic.
It's a real fact. People had to. We climbed the mountain and waited.
Waited for the right time and for it to
And then
be.
we didn't just wait. We then did Mahesh Notandas. So that's how you circle between all your brands.
Yeah. Again, Vandana, I have to ask you this because when we, you're positive, right? I mean, you're optimistic. You said we waited and it worked out well. But was there any moment of self-doubt? And if there were, how did you go through it? How did you navigate through that process?
The only way you can self-doubt yourself is first of all when people challenge you. Then you go back to your story. If you're honest, you're clean and you're thinking, then you just remind yourself, if they can say it, even you can tell yourself. You can also tell yourself the same story over and over, what they are repeating.
So talking about people, what was the kind of feedback you got here, considering you all had a legacy when it comes to jewelry? And also what was the coolest thing somebody said to you or your client said to you when they actually trust your designs?
Clients buying, demanding my attention, Monaco winning right now with people I work with. I think everyone should grow together. And this time we won 2 awards, beginning and ending. Timeless Elegance #1 in France. And then Customer Choice Award without the piece being physically there because it was already sold.
So just seeing it, I mean, yeah.
And my client told me, this piece though, I'm giving to my grandchild.
Wow. So keeping it on for their further legacy, yeah, keeping the tradition. You know, you spoke about getting the awards. You've spoken about, I mean, we know you've exhibited the jewelry at Cannes as well. Tell us about that. Did you actually draw some inspiration when the jewelry piece was out there, and how do you bring it back and again use that inspiration in your designs back here?
Of course, everything I see, I first believe in mind, second education, third health. You invest in yourself, everything else is done.
You know, when you say you invest in yourself, of course, you're looking at, you say health. How do you ensure that you take care of your health, not just physically, but mentally as well?
Biohacking.
Tell us about that.
I go to wellness centers all over the world. I don't travel to shop and eat. Shopping can happen at the airport. It happens walking on the street. So no.
So that's how you keep your mental well-being, you take care of yourself. Yeah, I mean, obviously to be creative. But moving back to designs, Vandana, tell me a little bit. Every Vandals piece has its own unique personality. Like, you know, we see these cool designs. They're all different. They're bold. They're statement pieces. Walk us through your creative process and the themes that, you know, make your collection different. They make your collections actually pop.
I'll give you a cliche answer, but I'll give you the explanation. Cliches exist for a reason. When people say inspiration is everywhere, it's true. It's everywhere. But nothing comes without research and experience. I can look at a tree and make a design, but I should know how to make it. I should know how to make it. I should know my market. So when I find a form in a tree, form and shape, first I need to know my gemstones, which ones to use.
So a lot of homework, like you say. Yeah?
Yes, homework, archiving, research, go back to the roots and bring it back.
I think that's not a cliche, it's a very intelligent answer, because actually it's the
Cliches
base.
exist
It's
for
the
a
base.
reason.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay, if I can ask you, I know it's a tough question, but and we are going to be seeing all your collections. Which one is your favorite? And you can only choose one. And what makes it special and why? I know it's tough.
I actually don't have, because I don't believe in things only in life. So everything is a go. But only currently I've made a glove, which I got a compliment saying, 8 years ago we seen Jacob and Company do it. People came up to me for it. And my dad screamed and screamed and screamed at me for it. Took me 6 months to make for the perfect fit for everyone's hand.
Yeah. The emerald one, I saw that on your social media. It's stunning.
And then now too, I've hidden it inside. I said, now whoever's asking for it will get to see it.
Only that.
Handle with
The
care.
lucky person will get to see it and try it on. Well, on that note, we're going to be taking a really short break. But when we come back, we have something really interesting with Vandana called the Vandana Vibe Check. It's like the rapid fire, so stay tuned.
If you talk to anyone who lives in Bangalore, you talk about, hey, what is your biggest issue? Apart from their boyfriend, girlfriend, spouses, etc., they will say, oh, this is traffic. I hate this traffic.
You've had quite a journey through the whole startup maze, I would call it. You were in InMobi, you've worked on quite a few ideas, you've done the corporate bit with City, and then how did you land on the idea of Uni?
During my journey with InMobi, I thought I would be retiring at the age of 40.
Retiring at the age of 40, okay.
And as I was approaching 40, started thinking that what does it mean, and the idea was not going really, really well.
Aksar hota hai. When you have that hunger and that appetite,
Yeah.
when it's no longer just about the money.
Yeah, it was actually never about the money. My journey when we started in Mobi office in that outer ring road area used to take close to 8 to 9 minutes from my home, and that started becoming 15 minutes, half an hour, sometimes 45 minutes. So I thought, maybe this is a problem I should be working with.
Give us the elevator pitch.
Sure.
What is Yulu and why is it important?
85% people in India do not have vehicle of their own. They don't have driving license. Other side of the business is now the gig worker. Today, from a revenue perspective, it is almost 90% plus.
जनता के पास सवाल ही सवाल है। जवाब ढूंढने को वो देखती है न्यूज और देखती है यहां तो सवालों का माया जाल है। ऊपर से ये अलग फाइट है, कोई पूरा लेफ्ट तो कोई पूरा राइट है। बीच में मुद्दे के साथ कौन है, जनता को जवाब चाहिए। इसीलिए सवालों की परेड नहीं, मैं लाऊंगा खबरों की कचहरी। मैं शुभांकर मिश्रा, मेरे साथ देखिए कचहरी रात 8 बजे सिर्फ एनडीटीवी इंडिया पर।
They promised guaranteed returns. They advertised illegal trading in broad daylight. But NDTV Profit picked up the trail.
2 साल हो गए मैडम। डब्बा ट्रेडिंग कब से चल रहा है पता है मैडम आपको? हम और आप तो जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था हमारा।
We called, we questioned, we exposed.
ये आपको बिल्कुल उसका ऐसे हल्का सा भी खौफ नहीं है?
मैडम एक बात को खौफ किस लिए रखना चाहिए तो बताओ, कौन सा गलत काम कर रहा हूँ मैं?
Because your money deserves protection, not empty promises. Easy money, hard lesson. Stay alert.
Welcome back. I'm in conversation with Vandana Jagwani, the super cool, talented, young. I mean, I would say, when we talk about design, style, you have it all, Vandana. But to check your vibe, I have something cool for you. And I'm going to call it the Vandana's vibe check. Yeah. So it's like the rapid fire. So just go along. If a Vandals piece had a theme song, what song would it be?
We have a playlist on Spotify, but currently I'm obsessed with World's Smallest Violin.
Oh, lovely. Okay. So that's okay. If you had to design jewelry based on a city's theme, and I know you're very fond of traveling, which city would you pick and why?
Northern World.
And if I ask you a city,
We're
of course.
building one.
Okay, so you want to stick to the Northern World.
You have to stay authentic to what you're doing.
Okay, again, very smartly answered. Lab-grown diamonds or natural gem, pick one.
Mind over mind.
Very deep. What's
It's on
the
the
last?
shutter now.
Okay, what's the last random thing that sparked a design idea for you, which you said, okay.
Car driving gloves.
So that's where it came from, the emerald glove. If Vandals jewelry had a superpower, what would it be?
Keep shining. Star. Shine or disappear. Up to you.
So keep shining when you say a lot to do with diamonds. I mean, diamonds are a girl's best friend. I think as women.
No, sorry. Brilliance and genius. And those are in our brand words also. That's why we say made with brilliance and we call them genius diamonds.
So the superpower would be brilliance and genius. Okay.
That's it.
Well done, Vandana. Okay, I just want to talk. We've heard what your father had to say, how you've, how he's motivated you and what you've tried to imbibe in your life. Well, we also have a message from your brother Harsh, what he had to say, and because it, I think, runs in the family, he also seems to be very inspired. So let's have a look at what he says.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of discussions amongst ourselves how to take tradition forward along with creativity, which is actually very, very hard because both businesses have such a legacy in the past. You want to move out of it along with innovation, creativity, but also keep some of the brand values intact. So we normally discuss that. She, of course, since we're kids, is more rebellious, so comes up with more wild ideas as such. And then I'm a little more traditional, so we try to find a balance together, and that's where we stand today, I think.
I think you rightly said when it comes to innovation, you want to keep since it's a legend brand, you want to keep that as well as much as you could. It was get big statement when you go ahead. As a person, being a younger one, like I'm the youngest of the three siblings, what have you taken from your sister as when it comes to inspiration? Like you said, she's rebellious, but what else do you think? How do you draw inspiration from her, if there is it?
So I think
A little rebellion
when
is
she actually
precious.
comes up with the idea, it's completely with the idea in terms of she doesn't think about the financial stability about it, the marketing about it. It's just that this is the idea, let's go pursue it. We in business are a little more practical and we wait for the idea to evolve to actually go out and at least experiment. So I think that's a major difference between us, but it works, whatever works for each of us,
So, Vandana, what is the reaction to what he said for you?
Expected.
Expected? So you know your brother really well?
Of course. Harsh's no comment is a comment. He will come silently asks for advice also, and then he doesn't comment. If I have disrupted 2 of his buildings and he's not said anything, means we are winning. He's
So
not
that's a
anything.
typical younger sibling getting
And
away,
then
yeah?
he's assigned me a project also. That's also winning.
Very cool again project. But I want to ask you, coming back to designing, when we talk about, I cannot not ask you about sustainability. How do you balance sustainability, innovation and luxury when it comes to your creativity of designs?
To be very honest, sustainability is a very complicated topic.
Yes.
People use that word way too casually. No, there are lots of chapters. Jewelry in itself has been always recycling and less consumption has been a thing. Even Mahesh Notandas offers bespoke returns exchanges. They just used to call it an investment, but India has been doing that forever. What they
Ages,
are.
yeah.
So, Vandals itself is in a lab. I don't want to preach how much I don't know. But
Fair enough,
knowledge
yeah.
is everywhere. How much we are absorbing, we are going on acting on it.
Sure. No, but talking about lab-grown diamonds, and this I'm sure a lot of women would want to know about it. They're making huge strides in the sustainable, when we take in the industry, when we talk about sustainable luxury. How do they fit into Vandal's vision, and what's your take on the folks who are still hesitant about it? Because very often one thinks that, is it fake? Should we buy it? I mean, I think about that often. What would you say?
I say, make your thinking real. It's really, I already said, you're using an iPhone. You're using ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, and relying on it, not using your own words. Are you using your own words? No. Now this becomes a status symbol. And that you want to show for public and call it not real. Get down to ground and start looking. We are trying for not blood. We just want to bleed blueprints.
Yeah.
At Northern World. Bleeding blueprints.
So again, when it comes to, when you talk about, sustainability, when you talk about lab grown, is it about, like whoever wants anything getting lab grown as well? Like if one cannot get a real piece. So what would your thought be on lab grown per se?
Why should I think for people? Everyone's been given a brain now. I have just removed the restrictions. You can decide. Everything is there in my office. Everything
so you can
is
choose
there.
what fits each
Yes.
one. Yeah. I think that's, Okay, again, talking about ethical sourcing when it comes to, being responsible, especially because you're in the luxury market. How do you address these needs when it comes to creating responsible, especially when we look around modern jewelry?
I am not into mining, neither manufacturing a diamond. My value is making jewelry. They are doing their job. We buy from trusted people. Then we add a trusted design and do a trusted manufacturing. And then take care of our people and offer our consumers value. Then it's up to you.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, that's also... Okay, now it's a fun question. If you're attending a big fat Indian wedding, like we all... And you know how many, functions there are, from the mehndi to the sangeet to the reception. And of course the wedding. Your personal picks, which one would they be?
Peace and life.
Yeah, I mean, what would you wear for a mehndi? Let's start with the mehndi.
I would wear probably uncut earrings, or otherwise I am so obsessed with diamonds. A light diamond necklace. I always prefer necklaces over earrings because they don't hurt my ear. And we've put in a lot of effort in making sure our earrings are light, that they don't hurt.
I think
but they're stressful.
Yeah, they are really stressful. By the end of the evening, you're actually holding.
Even if they are light, they just make you feel weight. Necklaces don't make you.
So you prefer necklace over heavier earrings?
Yeah, and I don't wear both.
Okay, you don't wear both. Okay. Okay, the other thing I want to ask you, what would you wear for a cocktail or a sangeet ceremony, which in India is,
Diamond
a dance,
choker.
Diamond choker.
Or emerald. Depends on my outfit.
And the wedding day?
Wedding day, I'll still show up in diamonds.
So diamond is really your best friend, yeah? And lastly, reception. How would you dress up on a more formal reception?
Maybe just my glove and some earrings.
I'm really looking forward to see that glove, okay? So, okay, going ahead, lastly I want to ask you, Vandana, where do you see Vandals in the next decade? I mean, considering you're young, you're bold, your ideas are different. So are there bold plans also to redefine luxury jewelry further or expand Vandals' footprint globally?
They've already, the current obsession is Northern World. Vandals has entered and created Northern World. It was the ground. Now we build the shelter. Now we're filling it up.
Filling it up, and further plans, once it's filled, what is the next plan? Tell us that. Give us a little sneak peek into that.
So already they've taken me into real estate. We are also giving back to community. The elders build temples. We want to build schools.
What a lovely thought. I also see when you said community, I know I said last question, sorry, but you've done a lot of work when it comes to street art. I know you play the piano. We saw this super cool piano. You also paint a bit. You also write. So you're per se a creative person. So how do you actually use different mediums? This creative medium, the whole process when it comes to creativity and designing in your jewelry.
So it all started. I have studied finance. My math is very good. It's just that now I've chosen to be creative. But whenever someone told me you're creative, I didn't believe it. Because as a child, I didn't play with Barbies. I did puzzles. Rubik's Cube puzzles and all of that. And I still keep learning. I have just finished my second master's at the age of 33. Yeah. And that was about traveling through the world, through all luxury segments, from real estate to hotels to watches to jewelry, everything. You can see my library. So we read. From reading, I went to reading on Kindle. From Kindle, my Instagram, I follow almost 7,000 people. But it's all poetry, art, everything. I don't have that ego. My list should be under 100. And after Instagram now, I start watching Asian shows.
Yeah,
because then I can read and watch together.
I love the way when you say you still want to learn, considering you've
And from
already
Korea,
done
I
so
moved to
much.
China.
Yeah, so before we end, should I open my fortune? You should have also had one, no? To see what your fortune for the day was. Okay, let me start. That's
But
okay.
fortune
I'm more
is there.
interested in the fortune,
Yeah.
not in the
I know
cooking.
everyone's interested in the fortune.
Because it's the calories and, so I...
Now we've started
I
giving
hope
it to people. Also, mom sends 2 cartons once a month because people ask for
let me
it.
see what mine says. I'll only read it loud if it's...
Yeah.
Oh, pretty cool. So your spirit of adventure leads you down an exciting new path. And I got my lucky numbers. So clearly I can see the exciting new path here at Vandals. So I think that's where it starts from.
Today is going to be a good day.
Well, thank you so much. It's really been a pleasure to speak with you. And wishing Vandals and you all the very best.
If you talk to anyone who lives in Bangalore, you talk about, hey, what is your biggest issue? Apart from their boyfriend, girlfriend, spouses, etc., they will say, oh, this is traffic. I hate this traffic.
You've had quite a journey through the whole startup maze, I would call it. You were in InMobi, you've worked on quite a few ideas, you've done the corporate bit with City, and then how did you land on the idea of Yulu?
During my journey with InMobi, I thought I would be retiring at the age of 40.
Retiring at the age of 40, okay.
And as I was approaching 40, started thinking that what does it mean, and the idea